Rachel, I've already nominated you to take part in this next, what this next segment is about. So pay attention and let's see how you feel.
Glued to the TV.
Yeah, there you go. Salisbury. It's all the way up in the corner. We always talk about them. It's the last one before you hit New York and Mass. They have something that not many states have. As a matter of fact, it's the only one in Connecticut. It's a ski jump. It is well known. And they have their 99th annual ski jump competition later this month. That's not what we're talking about. There's a great new documentary premiering tonight. It's putting a spotlight on this great winter tradition. Take a look.
Children and teens in small, remote towns rarely saw their heroes in action. But in Salisbury, they observed top ski jumpers fly up close.
The Jump tells the inspiring journey of a local hero and his efforts to keep the winter tradition going in Salisbury. It is a great film that you're going to love to want to see tonight on CPTV. The creator, the guy behind it all, Rich Hanley, Professor Emeritus at Quinnipiac University, and there is not one person in TV, not one person. I've been friends with you for 22 years that hasn't come away from you and said, man, you have stories and you're good at sharing them. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, man. Great to be here. Great to see you.
Well, likewise. We're former neighbors, believe it or not. Well, we'll talk about that later. Let's talk about this job. I've been there, and it is the coolest thing in the world. That said, I watched that video and I go, there's no way in heck I would ever do that. But that's not what this film is about. This takes it through the history of Salisbury, right?
Yeah, this takes us through why this jump exists and has existed since the 1920s. It starts with Norwegian immigrants going to Salisbury. They bring their Nordic traditions with them. One of the traditions is ski jumping. So we trace that story, the evolution of the jump through the years. And particularly, the main character is an important figure, a guy by the name of Roy Sherwood.
Roy Sherwood, who, if you're not familiar with this name, he's got quite an Olympic history himself, and an interesting one how it puts together.
There's a classic hero's journey of mythology. Drops out of high school because he doesn't want to deal with it. He just wants to ski jump.
Yeah.
You know, he's a native of Salisbury, spends his time at the jump, gets a job with the highway department. The highway department lets him jump. He gets really good at it, wins the national championship in 1954, which qualifies him for the Olympic Games in 1956 in the beautiful town of Cortina.
And then
he gets polio.
Wow. Now, you're going to see, I'm not going to spoil how it ends with him in the movie because it's a great inspiration. I promise you that. But more so, as you dug deep into the history of this, what did you find about the town, about the coming together to keep this thing going?
It was the town's spirit and its identity through this ski jump. It owns the ski jump. You know, it's an all-volunteer organization. And it really, really is a small town with the small town values that we ordinarily don't speak too much about. But when something was, the ski jump needed to be replaced. It was old, it was wooden, and so they got together and they raised $750,000 in less than a year to build a new tower and host the Junior Olympics in 2011.
So, you know, and I've had this discussion I did a story on it 20 years ago, and nobody now even knew that this thing existed. So this is an important story to tell.
Oh, it is. It's just a story of a small town and its ski jump and the people who want to keep a tradition, which is quite admirable, alive. Traditions go away now, more so, you know. Technology changes everything, but this is still a ski jump, and this local town still supports it. It's all volunteer organization.
It's what makes Connecticut, Connecticut, right?
It does.
What do you hope people get out of watching this?
You know, I hope they get an appreciation for, you know, small town values and how a community in this day and age can actually come together to retain its cultural identity with athletics. In this case, it's the Nordic sport of ski jumping.
I love that. And again, I love it because having been there, and now you got to see this film. It's on tonight, CPTV, by the way, we should point out. 10 o'clock tonight?
10 o'clock tonight.
You know, that Rich is, by the way, he's a writer, the director, producer, so he's obviously passionate about it. If you've not been to Salisbury, if you've not seen this, they open it up one weekend. They have a big winter carnival, the
Jump Fest.
The Jump Fest. It's incredible. So you got to go check it out. And you got to go check out this movie. Rich Hanley, always a pleasure.
Thank you.